to speak a little bit on patience, which is generally not my strong suit, but I have recently been thinking a lot about kind of like the videos that I'm making and things like that, and I want to improve these videos and do more valuable videos. But there's also a part of me which knows that I'm going into more of a season of daily updates and small updates and things like that. And these videos are boring. They're not great, but that is the process of documenting. Like, you can't document results that you haven't gotten. And right now we're in the process of changing a number of things, which I think is going to seriously change the kinds of results that I am getting, and will let me speak on a lot more things. But I need to go and do that first. And documenting that journey of going and doing the thing in and of itself is not incredibly exciting. It's the cutscene in the movie that lasts 2 minutes, which is I don't know, the duration of the Eye of the Tiger or whatever, that song is, and it feels great when you cut it up, but it just, like, the reality is it's just weeks on weeks of simple work. Like, it's not anything special. It's incredibly unglamorous, actually. And to be honest, that's what sometimes I sit down and I've tried to come up with video ideas, and because, I'm trying to change the type of stuff that I speak on. And what I mean by that is, especially kind of working with bigger businesses, I want to make more case studies and learn more lessons about how we can solve more problems for larger businesses, more so than the ones that we have worked with. And so I speak a lot on a lot of stuff about small business and how to get started, or how to do things at a very small scale, because it's what effectively I learned, because a lot of my clients were startups and things like that. Like, we built a lot of MVP projects, but also, just the nature of my company. And that's, my company's small, sub 1 million per year. I think I want to speak on stuff for slightly larger clients. Maybe, I want to move to help larger businesses, and I want content to reflect that. But I need to go and do, basically, we're doing some trials and some case studies now. And so I don't want to speak on stuff too soon. And that means that sometimes I can just speak about what I did today. And maybe today all I did was, honestly, I went to a lunch meeting, I had a team meeting, I did a little bit of work on some marketing stuff that just needed to get done, and I got on with it. And that's it. And like, there's not much to it. And that's the most I can document sometimes. And that's okay. And I don't know, it's something that I've like sometimes people get too eager to talk about things, and then they fake it. And I think that's shit. Sometimes people also have the opposite difficulty, which is, oh, I haven't done the thing that I want to talk about, so I have nothing to speak about. So I'm just not going to make any content, which I also think is shit, because the value of this content is not in somebody watching it when it's released. It's in somebody watching it. I think especially, there's a handful of people which watch me on a daily basis, I think. And I appreciate these people with my whole heart, and I cannot express that enough. But I think the value of this content grows over time, and I think that's the beauty of it. Because right now, it's probably, for the most part, meaningless. But its meaning and utility will only grow over time to serve the purpose of... It's like, nobody cares about your story when you're a nobody, but obviously it becomes more interesting when you, let's say, win the race or whatever. And so I think that's kind of the point of documenting. And if you want to document, you need to have that in mind, which is nobody's going to care for a long time. Unless you make it super flashy and you edit and you do, I don't know, some crazy stunts or something, which attract attention. But if you're really in it to document the journey, then sometimes part of that journey won't really attract any attention because you haven't done the thing yet. And that journey is only useful in retrospect, because you've proven that you've got the credibility, and then people are like, okay, this is interesting. Let me go study the steps on the way there. Which is obviously what you document. But it is absolutely still valuable to try and produce that. And so for anybody thinking about it, I think, yeah, it's worthwhile, but the value of the action grows with time. Like, the value of this video in 5 years will be greater than it is today. It will compound. I strongly hold this belief, obviously, because I think I will be in a very different position in 5 years, and people might or might not be interested in how I got there. But yeah, but I already wish that I had started documenting earlier. I think also just on a personal front, it's pretty cool. So anyway, feel free to comment any questions if you have them below. I record every day, and I try to respond to as many comments as possible.